There's 7 of us living in the house, and we've had no water for a month now.
For the Boylan family, the drought is hitting home.
You still walk over to brush your teeth and turn on the faucet, and then you realize, oh yeah, there's no water.
The lack of running water makes the simplest of routines challenging, especially as temperatures rise above 100 degrees.
Our neighbor, who has a house across the street with no one living in it, said we can use his hose out front to fill our water bucket.
All this because the well at their Clovis, California home literally ran dry, the result of years of underwhelming precipitation in the region.
It went from being sufficient to being gone overnight. Now you can move this because there's no water in it.
By a stroke of luck, the Boylans came across Self-Help Enterprises, which helps residents get the water they need.
It's a 2,500 gallon tank, and then we haul water weekly, and they can resume normal household activities.
The Boylans aren't the only ones in this predicament. Across the state's Central Valley, wells are drying out, drawing up demand. The family is on a 9-month waiting list to drill a new, deeper well. How early during the year did the calls start to come in for the need for water?
40% more calls in March, and then April we were pretty much full into a drop.
In fact, California just recorded its lowest rainfall year since records began in 1895. And it's not just homeowners. Even towns are being forced to drill deeper to find water.
We all just expect to go up to the faucet, turn it on, and there's water. But when there isn't, it's a shock.
Frank Galvez lives in Teviston. He says in early June, 700 or so residents were left high and dry for about 2 weeks after the town's well failed. Now they are relying on these 4 massive above-ground tanks that get refilled daily. Each holds 10,000 gallons of crucial H2O in a district where only 1 of 3 wells is now functional. A quarter of America's food is produced here in the Central Valley, with 80% of California's water supply going to agriculture. So with the lack of rain, growers are relying heavily on groundwater pumped from across the region to irrigate their crops. While some worry that increased pumping could impact smaller wells, Galvez says the giant agriculture machine is a necessity.
We have to have the food. We have to have the work for our farm workers.
And this much dryness so early in the summer doesn't bode well.
We expect a lot more wells to go dry, both for communities and both for private wells.
As for Laurel Boylan, she was awash with emotions as the plumbers finally arrived with her tanks.
The tank installer called this morning. I busted out bawling. You telling me I'm going to have it today just was a little overwhelming.
What does that sound like to you?
It sounds like heaven. I can't even imagine we're actually going to be able to shower tonight. You take running water for granted. I'll never take it for granted again.